Cinsault, the Soothsayer Ferment, Itata. We began in the garage making wines from small parcels. Wines in painted bottles, Semillon, Cap Franc, field blends of Carignana, Garnacha. The more we got involved in the farming, we saw that the families cultivated the Pais and Cinsault with the same loving care, only to be taken advantage of when it came time to sell the fruit. The large firms and central buyers, they don't pay well for what isn't a modern Big C variety. And they get away with it. The trouble, quote unquote, with these vineyards is that they're not big enough to fill a truck, or they can't be picked by machine, or they're just too far from a paved road. Why did we call them the single ferments? After the success with the parcels from single sites, we wanted to do something different and make a village wine from mini vineyards, so we could spread the love of our paying better for the fruit, and to get to know what we liked, even if we were going to blend it all into one wine after. It was 2015, I set out and found 3 vineyards of Cinsault that I loved, but in the crux of harvest, we'd run out of tanks to make them separately. My wife, Pilar, the boss, saw this coming. She was the soothsayer. But she was also far away in the Maipo when we began cutting the fruit, so instead of admitting my error in calculation, when the second side of fruit was ready, with nowhere to put it, I simply stacked it on top of the first in tank, already fermented. And then I did the same thing again 4 or 5 days later when the third bit was ready. By the time Pilar and Alvaro caught me out, the wine was dry and, lucky for me, delicious. Strictly speaking, for the geeks, wine has a primary alcoholic fermentation and then a secondary malolactic fermentation. And oftentimes this secondary fermentation starts months and months later, the following spring when things warm up again. When you stack 3 different cuttings, one after the other, the heat from the fermentations of the second and third help the malolactic of the first to get started right away. So effectively, both fermentations happen at once. All of this to say, you end up with a wine that's ready to drink young and has a very special kind of complexity to it. Long story short, GWC is always experimenting in small batching, so we never have enough tanks. So we developed this stacking or single ferment as a means of producing Pais and Cinsault almost every year. What to eat while imbibing Cinsault? Cinsault is probably one of the most versatile medium body reds that exist. Try it with comfort food, because we all can certainly use comfort in these times. Burgers, pizza, prosciutto, chicken, perhaps even something with a bit of heat or spiciness.